Hello, welcome to this yoga class dedicated to the god Shiva. For this class you might like to have a strap or a belt or something similar, and maybe a couple of blocks or books or whatever it is that you might use to prop yourself up. This is going to be when we're in a kneeling position. We're also going to be doing some lunging, so if you like cushions under the knees, maybe a cushion or a pad, or if your blocks are quite spongy, that might be appropriate as well. So find a comfortable position lying down on your back. You're welcome to place a cushion under the head, something quite small so you're not too lifted through the neck. The neck can remain long and neutral. And focus on your breathing. Breathing in and out through the nose. And Shiva is one of the three Hindu gods. There's Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, the gods of creation, preservation and destruction. And Shiva, although he is the god of destruction, he destroys to bring about a new rebirth. So it's not necessarily a negative concept, destruction, as far as Shiva is concerned. Shiva is also the god of yoga. And the next time that you inhale, lift your arms up overhead and come into a full body stretch. Feel length over the front of the torso. Point the toes away to feel the length over the front of the ankles, the legs, the hips. Space down the sides of the body and the sides of the arms. And on the next exhale, coming into banana on the right, so walking the feet and the hands over to the right hand side, keeping the shoulder blades and hips low to the floor, feeling a stretch down the left side of the body. And the right hand might take a hold of the left wrist and ease a little bit deeper through the upper body, thinking of lengthening. And the left leg might hook over the right. You might feel a deeper stretch through the lower body here. And from this position, bending your left knee, flexing the foot and crossing the foot just below the right knee, externally rotating the hip, coming into a hip opening position. And then release, come back into centre. As you inhale, feel length in your full body stretch. And as you exhale, come into banana on the left. So walking the feet to the left, walk the hands to the left, keeping shoulder blades and hips down. And to go deeper, the left hand might take a hold of the right wrist, easing a little bit further through the upper body. The right leg might hook, or the right ankle hook over the left ankle, lengthening the right side of the body. And putting the breath into the right rib cage. And then bending the right knee, flexing the right foot, sliding the right ankle just below the left knee and opening the right hip. And release, come back into centre. As you exhale, bring the arms down by the sides, bend the knees, and one at a time, hug the knees into the chest. Take a gentle rock from side to side to massage the spine. And then rest your left foot down, hug the right knee in. Lengthening the left leg, flex the left foot as if you're standing on the ground. And on an exhale, allow the right arm to open to the side and the left hand helps the right knee peel over to the left. So we're coming into a twist. The shoulder blades stay down, but the right hip lifts, the right waist lifts, the lower ribs lift. Inhale, coming into centre. And as you exhale, lengthen the right heel up for a hamstring stretch. And here you might hold onto the back of the thigh, the calf. You might choose to take the strap around the ball of the foot. Make sure it's around the ball of the foot rather than the arch if you're using the strap. And that way you can help to ease the toes towards the shin, lifting through the heel, shoulders relaxed. Keeping the left foot flexed. If this feels too strong, the left knee can bend. All the time feeling length from the right hip to the right heel. Then on an exhale, we're going to come back into the twist. So if the left leg is bent, you might need to lengthen again. If you're using the strap, take the strap both ends into the left hand, the right hand comes out to the side, and the lengthened right leg comes over to the side. Might not come all the way to the floor. And that might be where the strap is helpful to help your leg hover, feeling supported. Feel strong for your lower abdominal muscles, protecting the spine as you come into the twist. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, release the right foot down, and as you inhale, hug the left knee in. Lengthening the right leg, flex the foot, we come into the twist on the opposite side. So the left hand comes out to the side, and the right hand eases the left knee over to the right, coming into twist. The left hand could be palm down or palm up. Palm down might help you feel a little bit more connected and stable. But it does close off the shoulder joint, it's internal rotation. Opening the shoulder by turning the palm upwards might make you feel a little bit more stretched and spacious around the front of the shoulder. As you inhale, come back into centre, and as you exhale, lengthen the left heel upwards, lengthening the left leg with the option of the strap. Again, around the ball of the foot, lengthening through the left heel. Right knee could be bent or the leg could be lengthened. And on your next exhale, coming into the twist, passing both ends of the strap into the right hand, lowering the left leg over to the right. And again, noticing how far you can comfortably go, keeping shoulder blades down. If the left shoulder blade starts to lift, come out of the twist a little way, lifting the left leg a little bit higher. Keep the engagement at the lower abdominal muscles. And as you inhale, come back into centre. If you're using the strap, place it to one side. Gently hug both knees into the chest, and we're going to make our way into a seated position. So if your spine is healthy and comfortable to come forwards and back, we'll do some rolls forwards and back until we come up to seated. Otherwise, come up onto your side. This is where you might choose to sit on a block. That's always a good option in a seated position. You don't need to be cross-legged, you could be kneeling, you could have the legs extended. Find a position where the spine can be tall and lifted. And as you inhale, press the chest forwards, draw the shoulder blades down and back. If it's comfortable for you, lift the chin, opening the throat, and as you exhale, tilt the pelvis back, round the spine, coming into cat-cow with the spine, inhaling, coming forwards. Arching the spine, exhale, going backwards, rounding the spine. So working with your length of breath, breathing through the nose. Starting this movement with a pelvic tilt forwards or back, and then ripple up through the spine. And it's said that our Shiva energy resides above the crown of the head, above our crown chakra. And Shiva's energy is, or Shiva is a very powerful god, a very powerful concept, but is unable to release that power without the power of Shakti, the feminine energy that sits at the base of the spine. So as you tilt forwards and back, imagine this coiled potential energy at the base of your spine, lifting up as you move to the crown of the head to meet Shiva's energy. And coming into centre, we start to circle. Again, this might be a little bit of cat-cow movement as you come forwards and back. You might keep the spine more neutral. This could be really anything you choose it to be. The shoulders could get involved here, a bit of shoulder circling. You might take the head and neck around, be really careful with movements through the neck, changing the direction of your circles. And then coming back to centre and pausing in the upright position, and then on an exhale, downward facing dog. So get there any way you choose. And once you lift into your down dog, begin to walk out your dog. A little bit more mobilisation as we prepare to finish the warm-up. Feeling the ankles flex and extend one at a time, the knees, maybe a sway of the hips from side to side. Looking under one arm, then looking under the other. And begin to walk the feet forwards. Until you find yourself in forward fold position at the top of your mat, holding onto opposite elbows, sway from side to side in ragdoll. Feel a release through the sides of the body, through the back of the neck, back of the legs. Exhale to release the arms down, and as you inhale, arms dangling, core muscles firm, gradually bring yourself up to standing in mountain pose. We come to classic sun salute. This is where you might want something for under the knee, and you might want the strap available, so just place those to the side if that's something you're going to use. I'm going to come to this end of the mat, I think. So on an inhale from mountain pose, we lift to upward facing hands, reaching the hands up. Maybe the gaze comes up if it's okay for the neck. As you exhale, fold forwards. Uttanasana. Inhale, it's halfway lift, spine parallel to the floor. And as you exhale, bend the knees, take the hands down, step the right foot back, coming into your lunge. On an inhale, lift the arms, lifting upright to begin with, and then continue to lift the chest, maybe taking the hands behind the shoulders, maybe taking the gaze up to the thumbs, pressing through the right hip. If you feel that you're overstretching the left knee, walk your foot forward so the knee is directly over the ankle. And maintain the lower abdominal engagement, protecting the lower back. As you exhale, come forwards into a forward fold. Lengthening through the left leg, pivot onto the left heel, chest towards thigh. Feel the hamstring stretch through the left side. As you inhale, lift yourself halfway, press the left foot down to the floor and take your left foot to the side of the mat. We're going to come to lizard. So the foot's maybe just outside the mat and the hip pointing out, maybe roughly 45 degrees. Have your foot pointing at the same angle so the knee stays in a neutral position. Hands are on the mat underneath the shoulders. Press through the right hand as you inhale, lift the left, come into a twist. Maybe the twist lifts up, maybe you go slightly beyond the upright, opening through the shoulder and the chest. Exhale to come down. Tuck the right toes. Next, exhale, step yourself back to plank. Pressing through the right arm. As you inhale, lift into a side plank. The lower knee can come down to help. Lifting through the right side of the waist. As you exhale, lengthen the left arm overhead, stretching through the left side of the body. Inhale, lengthen the left arm back up. And as you exhale, come back to plank. Press through the left hand as you inhale. Turn to side plank on the opposite side. Lifting through the left arm, through the right side of the waist, left side of the waist rather. As you exhale, the right arm lengthens overhead, lengthen through the right side of the body. Inhale, lengthen the right arm, exhale to plank, lower yourself all the way down to the mat, and then as you inhale, lift up to cobra. Draw the shoulder blades down, chin to chest. As you exhale, come back into down, child's pose rather. Take a few breaths here. Each exhale, take the hips a little closer to the feet, or imagine that's what's happening if they're not going further than you currently are. As you inhale, slide to cobra. Bring the forearms down towards the mat. The chest slides low, the hips reach high, and they come down as the chest comes through the hands. Lifting into your cobra as you exhale, child's pose. So inhale, we slide forwards. Imagine the cobra sliding forwards and then up. As you exhale, the hips come back, child's pose. And continue with your breath. The energy of the spine lifts as we come into cobra. As we exhale, we press back through the hips, feel the stretch through the back of the spine. Once more. From your child's pose, as you exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. On an inhale, raise your right leg. As you exhale, step it forwards and come to lunge on the other side. Inhaling to reach the arms up. Lengthen upright to start with and then begin to extend. Lifting through the chest. Maybe taking the wrists beyond the shoulders, taking the gaze up if it's okay for the neck. Lengthen through the left hip flexor. Checking the right knee feels comfortable where it is. Readjusting the feet if you need. On your exhale, lengthen through the right leg, pivoting onto the heel. Come into the forward fold or half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. And as you inhale, lizard. Press the right foot to the floor and then walk it out to the side. Take the hands inside, under the shoulders. Opening the hip, check the angle of your hip and foot. Make sure the knee is in neutral, make sure the ankle is in neutral. Press through the left hand as you inhale, the right lifts into twist. Twisting as far as you're comfortable to go. Exhale, come down. As you inhale, tuck your left toes and then step your left foot forwards into goddess squat. So we're stepping wide. I'm going to turn to the mat so you can see me. Bring the hands into cactus. Thumb and index finger and forefinger come together in a mudra. Engage the lower abdominal muscles so the spine is in neutral. And this is Rudra mudra. And Rudra is another name for Shiva, or Shiva was incarnated as Rudra. Close the eyes and focus on your breathing. Take your attention to your third eye. Point between the eyebrows. And silently count the breath in and out, aiming for equal breath. On your next inhale, lengthen arms, lengthen legs, and as you exhale, folding forwards, soft through the knees, soft through the hips. We're stepping the left foot back, coming back into lizard. So I'm going to turn back to the side of the mat. So we come down onto the left knee, cushion if you need to, walk the right foot out to the side. Hands under the shoulders, checking the angle of the thigh and the angle of the foot. And we're here for a few breaths. So you're very welcome if you want to come a little bit deeper, to come down onto the elbows. If that feels like it's a bit too far, but you want to go a little bit further, you could place a block down there and take the elbows down to the block. If you quite enjoyed the twist that we did before, you could flow into a twist. If you're feeling quite open in the hips, you could peel onto the outside edge of the right foot, taking the knee wide so the ankle stays in a neutral position. And whichever variation that you have gone for, on an inhale, begin to return step by step back to a neutral position with the right foot in between the hands. Lengthen through the right leg, pivot onto the right heel, and then bow forwards into half splits, adjusting the feet as much as you need to feel a stretch through the right hamstring muscle. As you inhale, coming back to the lunge, bending through the right knee, pressing the right foot down, lifting the arms up. And then from here we have some options. You're welcome to stay in the lunge that we did before. You're welcome to thread the strap underneath the left leg, the left lower leg, and then lift the arms up overhead. You're welcome to bend the left knee if you like to bend the left knee. If you're bending the left knee, it might be worth having a cushion, making sure that you're bending just above the knee joint. So that's the area that's on the floor, rather the bend will happen at the joint, but the point that's on the floor feels soft and cushioned. If you're flexible, you might be able to do without the strap and reach back for the foot, or reach back sort of this kind of way. But do what feels comfortable for you. On an exhale, slowly release down. Frame your front foot and step back into a plank. Press through the left hand, and as you inhale, coming in to side plank, lifting up. You're welcome to lower the lower leg, or you're welcome to lengthen the lower leg forwards. You might even hover the foot from the floor. Right arm might lift overhead, feeling more of a stretch through the right side. And as you exhale, transition back into your plank. Press the right hand down, inhale into side plank. Same options apply. Maybe the right knee comes down, maybe the leg stretches forwards, the foot might hover, the left arm might reach overhead. Focus on your breathing. As you exhale, back to plank. Lower yourself down to the mat, and as you inhale, lift to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Pause here for a few breaths. Bring your attention to the third eye and allow the breath to settle. And continue to breathe here, feeling a little bit of connection between the third eye space and the floor beneath you, or you might place the hands under the forehead or the block. A little bit of pressure at the forehead can trigger the vagus nerve and bring us back into the parasympathetic rest and digest, helping to regulate the breathing, bring ourselves into a calm state. If you felt that the side planks were quite stimulating, as I did. As you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. As you exhale, step it forwards to lizard, so the leg comes wide. The right knee rests down. You're welcome to keep the right knee up if you prefer. And again, they have the options. You might come down to elbows, you might have the elbows on the block. If you feel quite open through the hips, you might peel onto the outside edge of the left foot, taking the knee with you so that the knee and ankle stay in a neutral position. Focusing on the breathing, maybe bring the attention back towards the third eye again. And it's here that it said there is the Rudra Granthi, which is the Rudra knot. And there's 3 knots or granthis down the spine, the top one being around the third eye, the middle one around the heart centre and throat, that sort of region, and the first one being lower down. And so when these knots are untied, energy can flow freely. So as you inhale, slowly coming out of lizard, walk your left foot back into centre. As you exhale, lengthen through the left leg, bound forwards into your half splits. So as you settle with your breathing, settling your attention at the third eye, imagine teasing space behind your third eye. Gently untying the knot to allow the free flow of energy. And then as you inhale, slowly press the left foot down, bending the left knee. We come into the lunge. You're welcome to cushion under the right knee. You're welcome to have the strap if you want to come into a modified version of King Pigeon. You could just lift the arms up and come to the same lunge as you had before. I seem to have made a knot with my strap, so I'll be teasing that out as well as I go through the practice. Okay. There we go. So finding your lunge, wherever that lunge might be. Feeling the opening at the front of the right hip, over the torso, front of the chest, the shoulders. Decide if you want to lift the chin or lift the neck, or whether you prefer to keep the neck in neutral and look forwards. On an exhale, carefully release it out. If the right leg is lifted, lower it back down. Frame your front foot as you inhale, step the right foot forwards. Come to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Gently nod and shake the head as if you're saying yes and no. And take the head into circles in one direction, then in the other. Settle in stillness. As you inhale, lift yourself up to upward facing hands with the option of lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center, close the eyes, relax the shoulders, settle on your breathing. As you inhale, open the eyes. Rest the hands by the side, coming into Rudra Mudra. Index finger, forefinger and thumb all connected, middle finger and little finger lengthen down. As you inhale, lengthen or lift the right knee. As you exhale, step it behind. Lift your right arm up. Come into the side stretch, feeling the right side stretch, and allow the left hand to hold the mudra in front of the abdomen. Take the gaze over your left shoulder. You might feel a stretch through the right calf muscle. From here, we're going to transition into Warrior Two. So the left foot is going to be forwards, the right foot is going to be back. So as you next exhale, lift the right leg, place it towards the back of your mat, coming into Warrior Two. I'm going to come back into my mat. Inhale, flip your front palm and exhale, come into reverse warrior again. Form the mudra in the left hand, take your gaze up to the mudra if it's okay for the neck. Inhale to Warrior Two. Exhale to side angle, the mudra comes to the right hand now. Take the gaze up to the right hand, diagonal line from the outside edge of the right foot to the right fingertips. And if you want to come deeper, wrap the right arm around the back, looking over the right shoulder. If you want to come deeper still, the left hand might come to the floor. If it feels too far away, you might have the block underneath. If it feels quite comfortable, you might be able to thread the right shoulder under the thigh and then link the hands together, continuing to look over the right shoulder. As you exhale, release the bind, take the gaze down as you inhale, lifting up to Warrior Two. As you exhale, bring the right arm up and over, frame your front foot, step back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise the right leg and open the hips, so pointing the hip out to the side, the knee out to the side, bending the right knee, bring the toes towards the left buttock and look onto the left arm towards the right toes. And then as you exhale, swing the right knee forwards behind the wrist to pigeon. Keeping the right foot flexed, lengthen the left leg back. You might choose to have some padding underneath the right hip so that the pelvis can stay steady. As you inhale, lift the chest, come into Cobra chest or Cobra spine. Shoulder blades relax. As you exhale, bow forwards. Making sure the knee feels comfortable, the right knee. And then resting here. Again, settle on your breathing. Settle your focus at the third eye. You're welcome to stay here in pigeon. If you want to work towards a swan or a mermaid on an inhale, lifting back up, carefully walking the spine back up to your cobra spine. You're welcome to stay here up on fingertips or hands on blocks. With a little bit of cushioning under the left knee if needed, you might choose to bend the left knee. You might reach around with the left hand and take a hold of the left foot. And the right hand could be on the thigh. It could be lifting up. You could be forming the mudra and looking up towards the mudra. If you have mermaid in your practice, you need to slide the foot into the crease of the elbow. The right arm comes up and over and links with the left fingers. That one's not for me today though. If you've chosen to stay down in pigeon, on an inhale, begin to lift yourself up. If you've lifted the left leg and come into mermaid or swan, as you exhale, release the hands and legs down. Everyone place the hands under the shoulders and on an exhale, step yourself back to downward facing dog and walk out the dog, releasing any tension in the hips or the knees. Then coming into stillness, as you inhale, raise the left leg, opening the hip again so the hip points to the side, the knee points to the side, and then the left knee bends, toes towards right buttock, looking under the right arm towards the left toes. And as you exhale, the left knee comes to the left wrist. Pigeon on the opposite side. So the block this time might come under the left hip. Come into your cobra spine, flex the left foot to protect the knee, making sure the knee feels comfortable. And as you exhale, lengthen the body over and forwards and down. Relaxing down. Coming back to the breathing. Aiming for equal breath. And noticing if you naturally have a pause after the inhale and after the exhale. Just be aware of that transition between inhale and exhale and inhale. And if you want to lift up and come to one of the spine extension poses, inhaling, lifting, you're very welcome to stay down in pigeon though if that feels quite nice. Walk the right foot a little bit further away, maybe with padding under the right knee. You might choose to bend the right leg, taking a hold of the foot with the right hand, and the left hand either comes to the thigh or it lifts up in the mudra, maybe looking up. You might choose to come into mermaid. Always checking that the knees feel comfortable in this pose. And if you're still in the pigeon, the torso down as you inhale, lift up. If you're in swan or mermaid, as you exhale, release down, hands under shoulders. Everybody stepping back on an exhale to down dog, walking out the dog, releasing any tension. As you inhale, raise the right leg, and exhale, step it forwards, warrior two. I'm going to turn around on my mat. As you inhale, flip your front palm, exhale, come into reverse warrior, mudra in the right hand, lengthen through the right side of the body. Inhale, coming into center, exhale to side angle. Feel the diagonal length through the left side of the body and decide if you want to go any deeper, if you want to wrap the left hand around the back. You might be able to reach the right thigh. You might bring the left hand down to the floor or bring it onto a block or a brick. Or whatever it is you're using, you might choose to come into the bind, bringing the left shoulder underneath and then interlinking the hands. Wherever you are, looking over the left shoulder. If you're in the bind, as you exhale, release, take the gaze down, inhaling, lifting up to warrior two. Then as you exhale, we're going to step forwards. And we're going to come into the standing Shiva pose. So we're going to step forwards with the left foot behind the right. And I'm going to turn so you can see how that looks again. So the right arm comes down in front of the abdomen, the left arm reaches up, so we have the length through the left side this time. The left foot is behind, you might feel the length through the left calf. Shiva's known for his dance, the dance of destruction, so this is sometimes called Shiva's pose, Shiva's dance, standing Shiva. As you exhale and release out, come back to mountain pose. As you inhale, raise the right knee, step it back, and we're coming back into the Shiva pose. The right arm lifts, the left arm comes in front. And this time we're going to lift the left leg, so we're in the balance. We can maintain the length through the right side of the body. The gaze might be at the left knee or just beyond, or over the left shoulder. As you exhale, we're going to transition to a warrior one, stepping the left foot back. So we step back, you will need to readjust the front foot, lifting up into warrior one, lifting the arms up, taking the gaze up as an option, lengthen through the back leg, press the weight into the outside edge of the left foot, then as you exhale, bow forwards, lengthening through the right leg, coming into pyramid pose. You're welcome to have blocks under the hands, rest the hands lightly on the shin, release the back of the neck. Inhale, lift the spine halfway, press the right foot into the floor and transfer the weight into the right foot. Draw the left foot up and back, coming into a vertical splits. Doesn't matter how high the left leg lifts. As you exhale, continue to feel the connection between the chest and the thigh. On an exhale, we're going to come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So the left knee and leg lowers. The left knee comes to the outside of the right leg, the left foot comes to the outside, bending through the right leg until we come all the way down to the floor. And we find ourselves in this sort of position, hopefully. So the right knee is uppermost, the left leg is curling around, or if that's not comfortable, lengthen the left leg. So find a comfortable position, both sit bones comfortably pressing down. Bring the right hand behind you as you inhale, sit tall. Lengthen the left arm, and as you exhale, twist, either hooking the left elbow onto the outside of the right thigh or hugging the knee. If you're hooking the elbow, come back to your mudra. So take the gaze over the right shoulder. So Ardha Matsyendrasana, named after Lord Matsyendra, Shiva's first student of yoga. So this is half Lord of the Fishes pose. As you inhale, come back into centre. Release, and we're going to go on the other side. You're welcome to simply change the cross of your legs, remembering your right knee is uppermost, or I'll do this the best I can. Come to standing, so press through the right foot, lift the hips, turn to the back of your mat, pivot on the heels, the balls of the foot, come round, sit back down. I'm not sure how gracefully I did that. But now, hopefully your left knee is uppermost, right leg tucking around, or of course lengthening is fine as well. So finding your position, if that didn't work for you, just readjust, laugh it off. The left hand comes behind, the spine is tall, and as you inhale, lift the right arm, exhale to twist. If you're coming into the hooking position with the elbow, form the mudra, look over the left shoulder. So Matsyendra was Lord of the Fishes. He was a fish god. And when Shiva was trying to teach Parvati, his wife, yoga, the legend says Parvati wasn't really listening, as they didn't take on the knowledge. But Matsyendra did. And so he became Shiva's first student of yoga. So inhaling, coming back into centre, releasing the twist. We're going to come into vertical splits again, standing on the left leg. So our left foot is our foundation foot. So however you choose to get there, bring your weight into the left leg, lengthen, reach the right leg up. Vertical splits. Again, not worrying about where the right leg goes, how high it might lift. Being firm through the left leg, strong through the left thigh, and then softening the front knee, bring the right leg down, coming into pyramid. So lengthening over the left leg. Feeling the hamstring stretch. From here we lift up into warrior, so on an inhale lifting up to warrior one, bending through the front knee, easing the right hip forwards, shoulders forwards. And then we transition into the standing Shiva pose. So the right leg is going to come forwards. And we bring the hands length down the left side, right hand in front of the abdomen. Exhale to release and come down. As you inhale, lengthen the arms up, lengthen the right knee up. And as you exhale, take the knee out to the side, twisting across the body. So the right knee is coming over to the left, right hand out to the side. And you're very welcome to lengthen the right leg. That's something that's not really in my practice, so I can't demonstrate that for you, but if that's in your practice, feel free to lengthen the leg. You might bind onto the foot or the lower leg. As you inhale, coming back into centre, bending the right knee back, and we're taking a hold with the right foot. Lifting the left arm up, option to come to the mudra. We're coming to dancer's pose, Natarajasana. Lengthen through the right hip flexor. So you're pressing the right foot back, keeping the chest high. And when the leg won't lift any further, the torso comes down. Keeping your gaze forwards. And as you inhale, carefully lift yourself back up, release. Take a few little steps on your mat to release if you need to. And we come to the opposite side. So inhale, lengthen the arms, lengthen the left knee or lift the left knee. And as you exhale, the left hand comes out to the side and the left knee comes over to the right side. The right hand helps it. And as with the other side, you're welcome to lengthen the left leg and bind onto the foot or the lower leg. This is dancing Shiva. Then inhaling, coming back into centre. As you exhale, bend the left foot behind you, taking a hold of the foot. Lengthen the right arm up. Coming to the mudra, lift the chest and begin to lift the left foot, keeping the hip square, pelvis level if you can. When the foot cannot lift any further, begin to lower the torso down, keeping the chest proud, the right arm lifted. Gaze forwards. So Natarajasana, dancer's pose. Shiva is also known as Lord of the Dance, another pose dedicated to him. On an inhale, begin to lift and return and make any movements that feel quite nice to release any tension. And then we come down onto the mat. So as you inhale, lift the arms, come to upward facing hands, feel the length through the front of the torso. As you exhale, lead with the chest, come forwards, length through the back of the body. Inhale, lifting halfway, and as you exhale, step yourself back to down dog and lower the knees. Coming into a kneeling position or hero's pose. And you're very welcome to stay bottom on the heels. I'll turn sideways. Or you might be able to separate the lower legs and lower the bottom in between the feet. So if the bottom reaches down to the floor and has a firm contact, that's great. If it doesn't, this is where the blocks come in. If you have any knee issues and this isn't accessible at all, then please just come to a normal seated position with the legs lengthened. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax the shoulder blades, close the eyes, form the mudra on the lap, and come back to your focus at the third eye. Equal inhale and equal exhale, being aware of the transition between the two. Shiva is often depicted as sitting in meditation. After all, traditionally yoga is meditation. The journey of yoga is a journey to samadhi, to enlightenment via meditation. You're welcome to stay here, and you're welcome to change your position if it feels uncomfortable. If you want to do a little bit more extension through the spine, you might choose to lift the chest and bring the hands behind you and lift the chest. Open the front of the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades, chin to chest to begin with. And if it feels comfortable, lifting the chin, opening the throat. You might visualise the colour blue at your throat. Blue is the colour associated with the Vishuddhi chakra at the throat centre. And Shiva is also known as the blue-throated god, as he once saved the earth by swallowing the poison that sort of came up from the ocean. If your spine has the ability to go there, and please don't force anything, you might be able to lower down a little bit further, coming down onto the elbows, or maybe down onto the head. Notice the knees. If the knees are lifting, then this is perhaps one step too far. Remember, you could still be in your meditation position. If you've gone down into an extended extension, begin to carefully bring yourself back up. And then everybody come forwards into a child's pose. Very carefully, we're now reversing the direction of the spine completely. So it's a very gentle lower down, forehead to the floor, to the block. You could stack your fists. And take some deep breaths into the back of the body, feeling the back of the rib cage expand, filling into the back of the lungs. If you have a bolster, you're very welcome to have a bolster between the knees and lower the torso onto the bolster. That can be a really nice version of child's pose. And as you inhale, slowly lift yourself back up. And bring your hips one side, feet the other. Bring the legs round to the front. Leave the knees bent, about hip width apart, arms beside the body, engage the abdominal muscles, lower yourself down to the mat. And once you're down, one knee at a time, hug the knees in, take a gentle rock from side to side. And then lowering the knees to the right, the feet could be up or down. Open the arms wide, feeling the openness across the front of the shoulders, the front of the chest. Twist through the torso, stretch over the left hip. You might like to close the eyes now as we get closer to Shavasana, our corpse pose that Shiva is often depicted in. Sometimes with the goddess stood with one foot on him. Inhale, coming into centre. And as you exhale, take the knees over to the left. Just finding a shape with the body that feels really relieving, releasing, comfortable. Lift the knees back into the centre, hug them in one more time, making any movements that feel like you're relieving the spine prior to coming into Shavasana. And I'm going to do a short guided Shavasana with you today. So when you're ready, lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs, or come to whichever comfortable position you choose. It could be seated, it could be on your front or your sides. And take a full inhale and feel the ribcage expand, and as you exhale, allow a wave of relaxation to wash over you. And do that a couple more times, feeling energized as you inhale, feeling the energy within the spine, and as you exhale, feel as if you're sinking deeper into your mat, into the surface beneath you. And once more, inhaling, feeling the tingling up the spine as you receive energy. And as you exhale, relax, let go, softening the muscles and the joints. And settle your attention back at the third eye. And allow the breathing to be very, very subtle, so that you only just notice that you're breathing. With a very subtle inhale, lift your attention to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, lower your attention back down to the third eye. And continue inhaling up to the crown of the head. And exhaling down to the third eye. Repeating at your own pace, and if you don't even notice the breath, take your attention up and down between those two chakras, Ajna and Sarasvara. You might even be able to lift your attention beyond the crown of the head. And as your attention flows up and down, imagine teasing open Rudra Granthi, Shiva's knot, somewhere behind your third eye. Enabling a free flow of energy. And the next time you lift your attention up to the crown and maybe even beyond, settle your attention there, visualizing the warmth of the sun above you, the solar energy, masculine energy, which is Shiva's energy, resting above your head. And you're welcome to rest here for as long as you choose. And when you're ready to begin to come out of your Shavasana and exhale, bring the attention back to the third eye. Inhaling back to the crown and exhaling down to the throat. And inhaling up to the crown, exhaling down to the heart center, Anahata. Leave your attention here at the center of your chest. And feel the gentle movement of the ribcage as you breathe in and breathe out. And widen your attention to the entire spine, the shoulders and the hips, the arms and the legs, hands and feet. And as you inhale, lift the arms up overhead, come into a full body stretch. And as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Roll yourself into a ball, feeling the space between the vertebrae. And rolling onto one side. And using your top arm to lift you up into a seated position. Moving gradually, taking your time. Thank you very much for practicing with me. Namaste.